So this is our bill to propose that employers, and in the case of the state, the public sector employers, the state, would have to provide appropriate personal protective equipment, in particular N95 or FFP2 or higher quality masks for everybody to protect them when they're at work. This is a vital issue because we know that COVID is an airborne disease. We know that it is unfortunately still with us. We know that unfortunately there can be new and even more deadly variants can emerge, and that if we are to successfully, quote unquote, live with COVID, well then we precisely have to take the issues of ventilation and mask wearing, etc., extremely seriously. And this is a public health issue. This is a workers' rights issue. And the very least that can be done is to say that workers are entitled to get the masks to protect them in their places of work. I mean, it's ironic. You know, you walk in the Dáil and there they are on the right-hand side, a table with high-quality FFP2 masks. These masks give us all significantly higher levels of protection than either the cloth masks that many people wear or the surgical masks that many people wear. They multiply the level of protection that people have. It isn't okay that we as TDs and senators in our place of work get these to protect us, and yet teachers don't necessarily get them, shop workers don't necessarily get them, transport workers don't necessarily get them, all sorts of workers who are coming into interaction on a face-to-face basis with the public all of the time. To be clear, I'm not saying that TDs shouldn't get them. I think it's great that TDs get them, and everybody who works in the Oireachtas should be able to avail of them. But the point is that they should be made available to all workers. This is about taking the issues of ventilation, of worker safety, of public health seriously. So it's a very simple measure. It would have very limited costs in terms of employers and in terms of the state, but it would have a big difference, make a big difference. It would make a big difference in terms of the safety of workers in their workplaces, but also make a significant difference over time in terms of the spread of COVID. And then the impact that that spread of COVID has, most horrifically in terms of the deaths that are continuing to occur from COVID-19, but also in terms of the absences from work, the massive disruption in people's lives, the massive extra caring burden placed on people, primarily women. It would impact all of those things. I think it's very unfortunate that so far the government, when it moved to undo the requirement for mask wearing, it made a point of saying, well, we're getting rid of the requirement, but the strong public health advice, the advice from the government will be, we need to have mask wearing everywhere, etc. That hasn't been the case in reality. The government hasn't followed through with that sort of advice. You very rarely nowadays see ads or anything else encouraging people to wear masks. The government should take its own rhetoric seriously, which is to encourage people, to strongly encourage people to wear proper masks, masks that give people the best protection that they can, as well as investing in ventilation and filtration. But then the government should match that by saying, OK, we're going to have the provision of quality masks for ordinary people for free, so that they have that choice there, they can avail of that to provide the best protection for themselves and those who they are coming into contact with. I'd like to thank those in my office who worked on the bill. Thanks.
Thank you, Deputy Murphy. Is this bill being opposed? It's not being opposed, so the motion for leave to introduce is obviously agreed. Deputy Murphy, would you like to move to the second stage to be taken in private members' time?
I so move.
Is that agreed?